Hello everyone, apologies for the delay on this video. I had a lot of family stuff going on that got in the way, and I just wasn't really up for recording. But anyway, I'm here now, and I brought along a friend.
Hello, I I am here by choice,
Yes.
totally, 100%. My name is Ollie Everett. I used to be on this channel.
Yeah, and we're bringing him back because he tweeted out saying that if his tweet
No, no, no.
2020 will be the return of Ollie Everett.
You fuck.
It's in the video now, so you need to do it. Look, the tweet's on screen. You see that? You see that, people?
Oh, God's
Oh no,
sake.
you'll probably delete it before I can save it.
No, I won't. Anyway, what are we talking about today, John?
Well, you might have seen, you definitely haven't seen, but I made my review for Spyfall Part 1, and now this is the second bit.
No, I actually watched that one.
Oh, it wasn't very good.
I only watched it to see if the new titles were in it.
No.
But they are, and they're at the beginning of this one. Let's play them again. So Spyfall Part 2, is it? Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
I mean, I know that's why we're doing. You messaged me saying we needed to do it. Um, I don't know. What did you think of Spyfall Part 2?
Well, I mean, going into it, like following that cliffhanger, I didn't quite know what to expect from the trailer because it looked like they were hopping about everywhere. I was like, ooh, is this going to be jarring following Part 1? And also having a like different director as well.
Yeah, that was pretty random. Just doing, isn't it Jamie Magnus Stone, James
Uh,
Magnus Stone, or whatever who did Part 1?
yeah, Jamie Stone I have written down here.
Ah, okay. I thought overall the direction was pretty consistent though.
Oh yeah, I'm. This is surprising. I haven't said this about a two-parter in years, but I preferred part two a lot more to part one.
See,
I
I
know this
am
is
not.
where,
I'm not. Yeah,
yeah,
this is where we sort of differ.
it's like,
I'm not saying I despise part two, and I don't say I hate it. I don't dislike it majorly more than I liked part one. But I could definitely feel my enjoyment was more for part one than it was for part two.
I think that's fair. That seems to be the general consensus. A lot of people I've seen have said that this one feels a lot more messy, and I feel the complete opposite. I thought this one flowed a lot better. I thought the pacing was better, and
Yeah,
I just seem to enjoy it a lot more. That might just be because, as I said in the first part, I'm not really a fan of like spy thrillers and stuff like that.
oh, no, and
Like the first
that's
one
also
wasn't
where we
really made
differ.
for me. Yeah,
Because I was raised on James Bond and stuff like that, so
yeah.
I
I
have a
feel
big love
like
for that.
a lot of nostalgia plays into that one. It's just like that. Just it wasn't really made for me. The first one, I still really enjoyed it, but
Yeah,
I just got a lot more from this.
and that's fair enough, I guess. I got a lot more from Spyfall Part 1 down to music, direction, and general performances. And not saying the music, direction, and performances weren't good in Spyfall Part 2. I feel like I'm having to
Well,
defend
mm,
myself, but it's like I definitely could feel like I definitely had a good time with Spyfall Part One. It felt like Doctor Who was back, and it
yeah.
was like it's doing one of my favorite genres, which is the spy thriller sort of. I love that sort of. That's my
Oh
jam.
yeah, yeah. That's
Uh,
perfectly valid.
but and I don't, and I did like Part Two, the idea of jumping through time,
Yeah,
but but I felt like after we've had this completely centered on spy stuff and alien spies coming from another universe, which we'll get to. The whole thing of that being the central like plot of part one,
yeah. A lot of episode one was sidelined.
and then just to completely change the story effectively for the Doctor and the Master
Yeah,
for part two, and but then have that still that sort of like trying to keep that. Oh, it's still about spies and stuff with like the companions doing a bit of a rip off of Sound of Drums.
yeah. That's the thing. Episode two is kind of just a hodgepodge of like different things from the past.
Yeah,
That might have been how it got me. Like I could have just been like clinging on to like, oh, this is that thing,
maybe
and
it was
I
like
like that thing.
how the
Yeah,
nostalgia played into
yeah, because
spy stuff for me in part one. Like this nostalgia of RTD Doctor Who played in for you for part two, maybe.
yeah, but it's like part two also had like all the little classic references, like tissue compressor, eliminator, the
Oh,
contact, reference
mm-mm.
to like Logopolis. There's like all these things that I feel as if Moffat had written it, it would have pissed me off.
Well, there's that little bit in part one where the doctor, like, well, not the doctor, well, as he was referred to in that point in the story, like goes to Graham, like, there's a big shelf over there with like all this stuff about the doctor.
Mm.
And if we had been in a Moffat story, if we hadn't seen it then, it would have been like in part two, we would have cut to Graham, who has nicked this book, and like we open
Yeah,
it
yeah, and like
and
read
we
the
see
doctor's name.
and we've read the doctor's name. We've got all these like black and white photos of like stills from
Yeah.
episodes of past doctors that are like, it's just like, how could you have taken these?
Yeah.
Like, this one's from Necros of the Sixth Doctor.
I mean
How did you
that's
get
been a
to
thing in like just Doctor Who. Like whenever they show like previous Doctors, you're like, how did you get this footage or like these images?
I'll,
They're just
I'll,
like
I'll refer
stills from like different stories.
I'll refer to the bit in Day of the Doctor.
Oh yeah.
You have that big wall of companion photos, and when you go to the experience and you actually see that entire thing, it's like, it's Katarina and Sergeant Benson
hmm
or Sarah Kingdom and Mike Yates. It's like, when did this fucking happen?
There'll be a big finished story somewhere.
Yeah,
What you were saying about how you thought the direction and character performances were stronger in part one,
yeah.
I disagree. I thought that Jodie was a lot stronger in part two.
I feel like she. Well,
And I
that's
think it was the Masters like inclusion there
when
playing
I say
off.
stronger, I mean as in the sense of, right. I'm gonna have to deconstruct this now. The whole series is basically what episodes one, two, and three should be for a series,
Yeah.
in the fact that it sets up everything and how the tone is going to be. Where for series 11, I feel it's like the whole series is a setup of what the show is going to be now, instead
Yeah.
of just actually doing it. So, like, the Doctor is very middle of the ground for a lot of series 11, except in like her first three stories, she gets a lot to play with,
All
and
right.
then
Yeah.
then it's just arachnids of arachnids. What's
Arachnids in the UK.
arachnids in the UK. It should have been the spiders of Sheffield. Um, it's just like that from that point on until like even into Resolution, because I'm not a big fan of Resolution. Like, it's the same. It's
Yeah.
just
To
the
be fair, the
same.
Doctor is better in it. I'm just not
Yeah,
particularly a fan of the story.
but I felt like when we cut to her, when we first see her, and we first see all the companions, it's a great setup for part after that great opening like bit in part one.
Oh yeah.
You get the establishing where all the characters
It
are.
feels almost like this should have been the start. Obviously, it wouldn't work because it would have been jarring as fuck for like a new audience. But it's almost
Yeah,
as if like the Doctor and the companions should have started here and progressed from like this point
it almost feels
as
like
far
how
as like development.
Resolution sort of really started, in a sense that it's like cutting back. But anyway, I really like it, as in I really liked how, like, getting onto Jodie,
Yeah.
like, I really felt like I knew the Doctor now. I really like, especially like for part one, I really felt like I knew that version of the Doctor. How she, because there was the whole stuff when she went to the poker
Oh
casino
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
party
She was
thing.
very.
She does snap, and then like she confronts Barton, and very much in the style of this Doctor now, she's like doesn't pull any punches. Just like the whole thing with like, you weren't at Grace's funeral to Ryan's
Oh
dad.
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Just like
thought the scene when she confronts Barton was absolutely great.
like
That's
that's
like.
like her
I think.
defining sort of thing.
I think that's why I preferred part two is because it was a continuation of that. It's like the Master was properly like in her head, like the whole
Yeah.
episode. It's like she kind of had a reason to keep going.
hmm But yeah, but I do like, she very much played as like how she should have been written for series 11, for the tone they were going for
Yeah.
series 11, from Spyfall part 1. She very felt like established
Oh yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was watching, I was like, yeah, okay. It's like even like all the companions and stuff. It was like I've
Everyone
never
felt
particularly been a
comfortable
fan
with.
of like Ryan. Yaz is a bit
Mhm.
bland. It's like going into it, it's like I'm like happy to see these characters. None of them feel sidelined or left over. I mean, the companions, to be fair, were sidelined a bit in part two, but it didn't feel like it because of the focus in the Doctor and the Master stuff.
Yeah, everyone felt comfortable in the roles for part one now. So
Yeah.
we could go in, so we can move on. And then in part two, so Jodie could have this challenge of the Master.
Yeah.
That twist at the end of part one, everyone was like, what the
Oh
fuck?
yeah, yeah. I rewatched it like 5 or 6
And
times in a
it's,
night. I was like, ooh.
yeah, it's still superb. Um,
He
and
plays
it's
it.
such a
Yeah, he
and
plays it so
yeah,
well.
how Sacha Dhawan plays it. It's all in the eyes.
Ooh.
You watch the eyes just like the pupils like stop like dilate a bit, and you can tell he's like it's almost like a release.
Yeah, yeah, because he does just switch. He's like, oh, and it's like okay, and then he like
Like he can
breaks
plays
into
it
the character.
completely differently to how he played O.
Yeah,
O is a bit more of a skittish, uncomfortable character, and then fucking finally bang,
yeah.
like insane person.
I was a little bit scared going into this because I was like,
Yeah,
ooh, is he going to be a bit too John Sim?
everyone was a bit worried that he was going to play the whole thing as like because a lot of the Chibnall era takes a lot of cues from the RTD
Mm,
era in the sense of like a bit more of a focus on family and smaller scale stuff, building up to a big stuff, big something big.
yeah,
The only problem with Series 11, it was just playing for the little things, which are good on their own, but with this, it felt like, and suddenly we're going to challenge this Doctor now
yeah,
with a new enemy, but everyone was worried. It was like, oh, is this just going to be a rehash of John Sim? But how that scene works now, because in Spyfall Part 2, the Master is very much played as like angry, just
oh
so
yeah, yeah, he is.
angry. Like that's the defining trait I get from this Master now.
Mm.
Is
Whatever,
just
whatever the fuck he's found out about Gallifrey, he is.
pissed.
Yeah,
He is pissed AF, and like the way he just he his movements and how he just like seems unhinged, but not in the way of
oh
like
yeah,
John Sim. It's
yeah.
like I'm the Joker.
Oh yeah, oh,
I'm just
yeah,
wacky. And it's like psychotic for like just like a Missy being like the I'm just a bit loony. I'm
yeah. The thing about
bananas.
Dewan is he's like he does have that element to his character, but he's a lot more, I don't know, suave about it. I guess it's like
It's like Roger Delgado's Master if he lost his cool.
yeah,
Because every time Roger Delgado's Master, like he'd always seem like this suave, sophisticated gentleman,
mm,
except until the plot goes wrong for him, and then he'd be like, "Please, Doctor, help me," and he'd get on
yeah,
his hands and
yeah,
knees. That would be the only time he'd really break that. This Master feels like he's trying to emulate, he's trying to be himself, but he's
yeah,
just that little bit unhinged, that little bit
yeah,
like
yeah.
I can't keep. He's got a temper.
Yeah. I did find him like a little bit shouty at times, like maybe just tone it down a bit. But yeah,
I think it all works for the character though.
yeah, he was definitely the highlight of the episode for me.
Hmm.
I
As well, I think him and Jodie together are the highlight of the
oh
episode for
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Yeah, TCE being back, mwah, so lovely. Just it was like looks different, but you know what? The TCE looked like a dildo. Good
yeah.
job changing it. Um, but yeah, the whole stuff with contacts, like
Oh yeah,
one, it's only been shown to be like a thing that the same Time Lord can do, but it was a nice callback, but also an extension of that, of like, oh, all Time Lords can sort of do it. Like they can connect with each other. And I like the little like filter. I loved the callback to. I thought we were worried because in the next time trailers it was the 1 2 3 4 beat,
oh yeah. How did you
and
feel about that? The Morse
I
code.
was worried. I was worried about in the next time trailer
I
because
didn't
I
watch.
thought,
I didn't
oh,
watch the next time trailer.
I was super like concerned. It's like fuck, we've brought this shit back. Because I
Yeah.
rewatched Utopia the other day just because I'm in a master mood. Well, I was when Spyfall came
I
out.
mean, but Utopia is great.
And Utopia and the idea of like the drumming, I always read that in Utopia as like that's just like the message in Yana's head trying to get him to open the watch.
I always saw it as
And,
just an effect from the Time War. Like, I don't see it being how
and my
people
personal
interpret it.
but then like it's the whole idea of like, oh, it's in the next master's head as well.
Yeah,
I don't like that, but I've always seen that as in like the Time Lords implanted that in his memory when he was younger, and it's always just sort of been there, but like he's never noticed it.
mm,
It's always been dormant, except to the point when it came into it needed to be used, and that's when it sort of like became louder. And
mm.
I guess that's how you can and that's how I sort of read it now.
Okay.
Instead of it being like how people read it, it's like, and that's why he's always been evil and wacky because
Yeah, I hate that.
and now I don't think that's how RTD was intending it to be. I read that more as like,
Well, I mean, wasn't it explained in End of Time or something? It was to do with like Galfrey coming back or something, the
yeah, it was all like
star
the
thing,
everything was converging on this point.
something dumb.
Yeah, something RTD like
Yeah.
something like RTD's worst sort of tropes as a writer, like it's all been converging on this point and destiny and stuff like that. But like having it come back in this, but it's not said like, oh, and the master has got the drums back in his head or anything, and the doctor doesn't even say it's like, oh, this is like what's in his head, this will
Yeah.
get him.
Mm.
It's more of played as a thing. It's like it's a callback, and it's like the rhythm of two hearts. It's a call that a Time Lord will know,
Yeah, yeah,
and
exactly.
especially the Master will know.
Yeah.
And you can even see it on his face. He's a bit pissed off that the
Yep.
Doctor's using this again because he's like, I was tormented by this noise for one for two incarnations because technically Yana has it
Oh yeah.
when he's human,
Yeah.
and he'll remember all of that. And then he has it nearly all of the time he's John Sim, except when he gets sucked back to Gallifrey at the end of time and they get rid of it.
Hmm.
But yeah, the whole drumming and the music in that scene, like
Oh yeah.
I didn't really feel Sagan's music as much in part two as I did in part
I
one.
didn't either, but I think it's like there was more iconic stuff in part one, if you know what I mean, like, the Bond-esque theme and stuff like that.
He's turning on the Murray Gold a bit for part one, but not in the and it's going to blare over everything that's
Yeah.
going on. Whereas it's going back to what Sagan's really good at in
Yeah, it's just like atmospheric music. It's like it doesn't really stand out particularly, but it serves the story well.
but when you listen to it back, you're like, oh my god, it's that track.
Yeah.
What that track like really makes this scene.
Mm.
And I can't wait to because I've not really I guess like the reveal music in part one is sort of like the beginning of the Master's theme. But I'm really interested to hear what the theme is like detracted from the episode.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it is more accompanying music, but there is definitely a theme there for the Master. Because Sagan's even said that, and I can't wait to properly get into it.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for the season 12
But
soundtrack.
yeah, but the music in like when it's the and it would like skip a couple of beats, and
Yeah.
then you could hear like this drum go.
Yeah.
That was good. That was really nice, and the cold contact stuff was like lovely callback, and the Logopolis when they because of course they meet on the Eiffel Tower,
Yeah.
like Nazi occupied Eiffel Tower as well, which was great.
I love the whole like just how the master like he would constantly like change his costume from where he was as well.
Oh,
People were really iffy on it on Twitter as well.
I know people are like, why is the Master dressed as a Nazi? Because he's blending in.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's not actually being a Nazi.
We'll talk about the
This
like the little ending bit in a bit, like what Jodie
yeah,
does to
that's
him.
the only bit that really just really that's like that can be read quite weirdly.
I interpret it a different way, but
Yeah,
we can.
I'm just a little bit like, oh, that's a bit iffy. But yeah, that whole confrontation was good.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like some of the strongest stuff.
Yeah,
What did you think about side characters then? Obviously, we had Ada Lovegoods, I think, and Nor. It was the French spy.
it's Ada Gordon who will later in her life become Ada
Yeah.
Lovelace.
Oh,
So
Ada
daughter of
Lovelace.
Lord Byron
Yeah.
and Mary Shelley.
Uh,
I think that's who she's married to, Mary Shelley. But anyway, yeah, Lord Byron. Lord Byron has the connection to Mary Shelley,
Yeah.
which is playing into people's theories of like the whole idea that the rumor there was the Mary Shelley Cyberman episode,
Hmm.
which might be interesting. Who knows? But yeah, that was it was cool to see like an historical person that I didn't really know
No, I
stuff
didn't.
about.
I didn't really
I've
know
heard of
much
Ada,
about.
I've heard of Ada Lovelace, but I don't know what she was about.
Yeah, yeah, same. I think that's good because it's like they weren't like main additions. Like the plot didn't really revolve around them, but it was just nice to have them there and like to learn about these important like historical women.
Yeah, I did like Ada as a character as well.
Yeah,
As you could tell, she was quite intelligent,
yeah,
but not in an annoying like I'm a woman and I am really important. Like I'm not saying like I'm not trying to say here like women aren't important and that sort of representation isn't good. Uh, Big old feminist over here, but sort of the idea of like sort of like a Moffat woman. Moffat like
yeah.
playing
I
to
know. I
Moffat's
know what you mean.
strengths. It's like she's really witty and like
Oh
men
yeah,
and get
yeah,
out of here.
yeah.
Like there's only like one line like which like she's handling like she because she fires a Gatling gun at the master, which I thought was awesome. A little bit strange in the direction there. That's the only bit thing I can think of in this episode that I wasn't too enamored with the direction. But um, the whole idea of like, oh, this thing shouldn't be handled by a woman. It's like, yeah, not many things are, but here I am.
Hmm.
That was I thought that was a good line. Uh, but the yeah, Ada Lovelace was an interesting, not interesting, but like a nice side character that I would have loved to have spent more time with.
Yeah,
And then when they drop off in 1943 and they meet Nor, she was very like a cool character to meet because I knew
yeah,
nothing about her.
yeah. Me neither.
Like,
I don't think we spent as much time with her as we did with Ada.
no, not as much time as we've spent with
Yeah.
Ada. Because Ada sort of brings us into this whole time travel scenario
Yeah.
thing. Because she's taken to the Kasavin, who are the villains. That's the glowy people. That's their name.
I guess it makes sense because there's more to learn about Ava than Nor, because Nor is a
Ada's
spy.
they give Ada because they give the Kasavin sort of and Master and even Barton. Barton's more of a player in the plan than he is actually controlling the plan.
Yeah.
The Master and the Kasavin's more sort of plan is like we are going to learn about technology through history. So we're going to so the Master basically puts this projector of this woman, this silver lady, I think it was called,
Yeah.
like through history, through like people who were significant in the development of the of computers and storage and stuff like that, basically throughout history. So that eventually the Kasavin will know enough about, will like study, because they're studying Ada. They take her to their realm throughout her life
Yeah.
to study her, to like and study her brain and how like she will come up with the idea of computers. And that's sort of like their plan. So eventually, at the end,
It's almost a little bit Girl in the Fireplace, how it's like they're just waiting and learning about her until like she's ready.
a little bit, because it was like, because I think the Master sort of goes like some point in time that the Master found them, and they wanted, and the Kasavin wanted to come through and like use use humanity. Like they had a lot. This Kasavin had like a lot of data or something. It's not very well explained,
No.
but this is that's how I've sort of managed to decode it, and it's sort of just like blurted out very quickly at the end of the episode of what their plan was.
What do you mean the bit when like Barton's like giving the speech?
Yeah, for no reason. He's
Yeah,
just
yeah, it's really weird. I find that bit really weird. Because like no one that he's speaking to is like reacting or anything. It's just like I'm gonna be evil and tell you the story.
and isn't the whole point
My
of
evil plan.
Yaz, Graham, and Ryan's stories they're meant to be getting to stop this speech, yet they don't go to it?
Oh, yeah, good point. We've not really spoken about the companions.
Well, there's not much to really
Yeah,
see
yeah, yeah. They were
apart from
sidelined.
Graham's laser shoes.
Yeah, which I'll be honest, I thought they were fun.
I wasn't particularly enamored with them at first,
No.
but then you know, but then Bradley Walsh plays it so well.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he can. It's laser shoes.
Well, I
Oh,
mean, yeah, no one else could have them on but him and pull it off.
and then later on rewatches, and it's like, yeah, it's the whole idea that Doctor Who can be silly sometimes.
Yep.
This doesn't break any sort of laws or anything.
No.
That he can't, like, it's not terrible. I'm not
Yeah, it's
furious.
just like a dumb thing carried over from
It's a
part
dumb
one.
thing, and
It's like, oh, yeah,
it's played for comedy.
yeah.
So not
Well,
so I don't. It's not like this is the most serious. Like, we are using laser shoes. It's like, nah, it's fine. It's
I
funny.
quite like that. I quite like the direction they're going with Graham and Ryan now. How they are essentially now the comic relief.
Yeah, they're the comic relief because the Doctor is got to be the heavy. Gonna have to be doing
Yeah.
the heavy lifting this series now that in the direction they're taking it. Yaz apparently is going to be getting a story.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. There's like supposed to be a big Yaz arc.
And I'm starting to pick up on like the idea that maybe she's turning against the Doctor,
It's possible,
but I
but
don't think it's been
at the
quite
same time,
as
I think it would be weird. I think it would be quite odd considering what her motives were in the first place to travel with the Doctor, and also it doesn't quite tie in with like, I'm a policewoman. I want to do more.
well. I guess it's like we've seen Orphan 55 at the time of this
Oh
recording.
yeah.
So
I mean, she
the
doesn't really
idea,
do much in there either.
but it is sort of the idea that like the Doctor doesn't go back and help these people, and they're all kind of upset
Oh
with
right,
her.
yeah,
Doesn't help the Earth, and Yaz wants to travel and see and be like a good person, like a police officer who helps out.
yeah.
And like I guess the idea that I could kind of see them going on, especially with like Spyfall Part 2,
Hmm.
is that the Doctor can't always be there
Yeah, yeah, I can see it.
because she's
I
only
mean, there was also that stuff of like people being like, "Oh, like the Master could come back and like it
oh
could be a
he's
whole
coming
dynamic."
back.
Oh no, no, but
He's
yeah, but
coming.
I know he's coming back. But I mean, there could be a whole like dynamic between Yaz and the Master.
Yeah, there's that whole Dimmy started that whole thing of like
Mm.
Yaz turning her back on the Doctor and joining the Master because
I've seen a few people speak about it like in videos
there's
as
a
well.
little
But yeah,
there's this little dynamic that they sort of play into in Spyfall Part 1 of like Yaz and O getting along really well, and then there's that line is like, stick with me, Yaz, because I control everything.
if they went
How
down that line, I'd be interested. But I can't see them doing it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, if it was if it had been it hasn't really been addressed,
Mm.
so I'm not really expecting it to happen.
I mean,
It's
it
just
depends
like
what stuff goes on like down within the next couple of weeks, I suppose. Like,
yeah,
this is only episode 2, and we've seen
we're,
episode 3, and
we're,
not
we're
much
three
happens.
episodes in. We're
Yeah,
near episode 4, so we've got 6 episodes really.
yeah. So if something like, if like something big happens in the middle, then possibly. But as of now, can't really see it.
It's not really looking likely that anything will really happen apart from maybe Yaz. The most I can see right now happening is Yaz will leave.
Yes.
I don't see any interesting sort of like fallen companion sort of stuff at the moment.
Well,
But that would be way more interesting.
I'm hoping. What's that? Episode 5? Is that the Judun one?
Fugitive of the Jadoon, written by Vinay Patel and co-written, I only just learned, by Christian.
Yeah, I only just learned that as well. But anyway, hopefully we get more of Yaz in that episode and we can explore her police stuff.
Well, there's a leaked image, well, I don't know if it was leaked, but it came out of Yaz back in her police uniform at some point in this series.
Yeah, well, do we not see it in the trailer, or is that from episode 1?
No, no. She's at the police station in part 1.
Okay, I'm sure.
But she's
Yeah,
not
I'm
in
sure
a-
I've seen
There
her.
is definitely an image of her in
Yeah, I
Sheffield
think I've seen
in
it.
her police officer
Yeah.
uniform, looking sad, which is
Yeah,
getting
yeah, I've
the
seen it.
feeling of like maybe something's going to go down between her and the Doctor.
Mm.
And there's also that whole like because I don't know if this is a spoiler, but the Daleks are coming back at some point.
Oh
There's
yeah,
been
they'll probably be in the
there's-
special.
Well, there is a special has been filmed but
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of it might be the finale.
I thought the Cybermen were the finale though.
Well, so there's going to be Cybermen in episode 8.
Is it?
Could be,
No,
and
no,
it
no.
could
I thought it was a
be.
two-part Cyberman finale. I thought that had been
Well,
confirmed.
it's definitely a two-part finale
Yeah,
because it opens the series, and it's going to be written by Chris Chibnall.
yeah, yeah. That's obvious.
But I know there's another one of the new writers, one of the new female writers, I may add, are doing a Cyberman episode for episode 8, and it could be a Utopia Sound Drums Lost at Time Lord sort of situation where it leads into that.
Okay, okay. I
But
didn't. I didn't know Cybermen were confirmed episode 8.
I would rush. I think
Because like we've been speaking about it in the chat, and I think as far as we were aware, that it was like going to be the finale.
I don't. I don't know.
Chibnall's also even said in interviews that Daleks won't be back this series.
But they are.
No, I do think they will be in the special.
But the special technically counts as Series 12.
I get, well, I don't know because people don't count Resolution. Like I count Resolution as part of Series 11, but Doctor Who doesn't.
Yeah. I don't know. Mad. All I'm saying is I've had enough of Cybermen finales. I'd kind of like a Dalek finale.
Yeah.
Because the Doctor falls and that was sort of like the biggest Cyberman finale you could do.
Well, what they're going to do is they're going to bring back the Cyberman. The Daleks are going to be there, and then Tim Shaw's going to like just walk up.
He's back, and then Jack Robertson
Yeah,
comes
and
back.
Barton, because he just walks off at the end of this as well.
Oh, what if they do right? This is
I
legit.
feel like, but I feel like
Legit
Barton's
happen.
definitely coming back because it doesn't
Barton
make
and
sense for him
Jack
just to walk off.
Robertson.
I can see it. I can see Jack Robinson coming back. I'm surprised it's not going to happen this series.
Well, we don't know that because we don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't
I
because
feel like it. I feel like it won't though.
or he might be back in the special.
He's the Timeless
Yeah.
Child.
Oh,
I know we spoke about the Timeless Child before this, but how do you feel about the Timeless Child arc?
well, it's starting with like the whole idea of the Master telling the Doctor that Gallifrey has been, as he put it, nuked,
Mhm. Mhm.
and she rightly doesn't believe him. But I could very when she said, "I don't believe you," that was the point I went, "Yeah, that means it's true."
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't have your character say you're lying and then it turns out they are lying, because that's not good writing.
No.
Um. So yeah, the whole idea of Gallifrey being destroyed, it was a shocking moment. To
Oh
see
yeah,
it
I wasn't
like
expecting
that.
to see it in the episode. I was thought like we'd see the Doctor's like eyes looking on it, and then it would like be titles. And it would
Yeah,
have been another cliffhanger.
but yeah, the whole reveal of Gallifrey being destroyed. Um. To be honest, it was shocking.
Yeah.
But thinking back on it, I am a little bit upset that Gallifrey's gone.
I
Because there could have been stories to tell there.
Yeah, it seems like such a wasted
But
like
in
I
the but I I'm interested at the same time though, in the sense of like, whoa, Gallifrey's gone.
I'll say my thoughts on it. It's like I'm glad that it's gone, but at the same time I don't know, it does just feel like a wasted opportunity bringing Gallifrey back, doing absolutely nothing with it, and then be like, okay, it's away now, okay.
Because when it inevitably will get brought back, it will feel like, oh, how can we trust it'll be around again?
Watching that bit at the end of the 50th when it's like, oh, I know my destiny and all that stuff, it's like, oh, I'm going home. And then to see that like Hellbent was the result of like him going home, it's like, oh, it's
I
boring,
mean,
and it's going to run away again.
This doesn't piss me off as much as just Hellbent like
but
ignores
this kind of
Gallifrey.
uncanonizes Hellbent because Gallifrey is back in the bubble universe.
I've
And then
I've always
Hellbent
read it though as
reinstated.
like I always read it as like it's in a bubble universe at the end of the universe.
Okay.
That's how I sort of always read it, because it's like it's not very made clear what happened at the end of Time of the Doctor and how it got there. Oh, whatever.
I mean, oh yeah,
Um,
good point. Like it means like Gallifrey's been nuked now, but Rassilon, he left, so he's going to come back, Oh,
He
he's gonna
did
come
come back,
back with
Sean.
the
He's
Cyberman.
he's the you know you read that
Yeah,
comic.
I haven't read the comic. I
Everyone
know
knows
of the
the
comic.
comic
Yeah,
though. A
yeah.
picture will appear right now of Cyber Razilov.
Oh, it's such a dumb concept.
I
That's gonna be the
know.
finale.
No, no, no. But yeah, with Gallifrey being gone now, I'm interested to see where it goes. But yeah, just a little sad that like, because we could have told stories, like we could have used the idea of Gallifrey being back a bit longer.
Yeah, I'm interested in the lore.
I'm interested in what this means for the Time Lords rather than
Yes.
what was the Time Lords before this or whatever.
What about the rumor of like it's the Doctor because it was 13 previous incarnations before William
I was
Hartnell?
really worried. I was really worried when I first saw that, but then I got like everyone just sort of showed me that it was just some fucking twat on Twitter
Okay,
going on
fine.
about how it was just.
Probably like
And I
no
heard this
TARDIS
from
zone or something.
Cardiff. It wasn't actually like. And this is a legit rumor that's been reported on. It was just bullshit.
Yeah.
It is bringing a little because I didn't realize how mysterious 13 was to her companions.
Yeah.
And because she hasn't told them anything about regeneration, and there was that lovely bit at the end of Spyfall Part 2 where she goes, I was born on a planet called Gallifrey, and she says in the constellation of Casterbarus,
Yeah.
which was lovely. It's like and when she said I'm a Time Lord, she sort of gave a little bit of a smile,
Mhm.
and that's what I like. Like I was like, I'm a Time Lord. And it's like and then explaining what the master was, and like it felt like there was establishing now,
Mhm. Yeah.
but it was obviously leading up so Yaz could say, "Can we visit your planet?" Like Martha was saying in like series 3. But and then another time, and then the really sad lighting,
Oh yeah.
the
Well, I
blue,
love I love all of that.
that final shot, and then it
It's
cuts
so
to
nice.
black,
Yeah.
and then we get the titles.
Ooh yeah.
That was
All
that
that stuff's
was
great.
that was a wonderful way of ending it. Well, not wonderful, but in the sense of like, blah, everything's going to shit again.
Yep.
Like the Doctor thought she had a hand on it, then she met a Dalek and she defeated that. She thought she was in the clear,
Mhm.
and then the Master came back and ruined it.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward because their dynamic was one of my favorite Doctor Master, sort of like because she was very.
Well, yeah, because it's like this master doesn't even have the like all the masters. I feel they've always had like a little bit of like friendship towards the Doctor. Like they'll always like go back to him when they're like in danger or whatever.
Yeah,
But it's like
this
this,
Master feels like
yeah,
an enemy.
yeah. He just wants to get back at the Doctor. Pretty much, he's just like fuck you.
And I guess that also I sort of also read the whole stuff about you know like the Doctor asking why would it stop, when does it stop for you, and he's like, why would it stop, how else would I get your attention, and the stuff about oh, there was a really good line. It's towards when they first meet, and it's like when I kill them, Doctor, it gives me a little rush,
Yeah,
like it like in the heart's telling me this is what I'm made for. And I thought that was like, even though it's not explicitly said, I read that as like that's him, that he must be after Missy because he's basically saying like I'm back doing what I should be doing now, because
yeah,
Missy paid for trying to be good by getting literally shot in the back by herself.
yep,
So like yeah, I read that as like not as in Chibnall like spitting in the face of what Moffat did, and like going back to like this is how the Master would react to trying to be good, and this is where it got them, so they're going back and doing exactly what they used to do because that's what they're good at.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's just get into things I'm going to call this section like things we forgot to talk about, but we're going to talk about them randomly now.
Well, we finally got to see the inside of the Master's TARDIS.
We got to see the Master's TARDIS in flight.
Yeah, I'm.
Another TARDIS in the vortex was.
How did you feel about it being like remaining the house? Like I like the little
I
explanation. It's like, oh yes.
I like it. I like
What
because
did
the
you say? He was
Master's
like
done that
too
before.
obnoxious. Yeah.
I liked the weird console was
I liked the
cool.
console. Yeah, I just wish that we had seen like an actual like room. I wish that it was more like the Hellbent TARDIS in the way that like they like go through a room and then there's the console room, as opposed to the
We're
console
baby
just in the
steps.
house.
Baby steps, because
Yeah.
the Master Soul stole the Doctor's TARDIS in Sound of Drums, Last of the Time Lords. Then
Hmm.
Missy is implied to have a TARDIS in Dark Water, Death in Heaven,
Yeah.
and everyone says it's the red telephone booth that they just sort of rolled up behind her for filming because it's
Yeah.
not usually
Yeah.
there. They just put that there explicitly.
Mm.
So why would you? I think it's more like just show to people like not in the UK that this is London. But yeah, I like that theory that that red telephone booth is,
Yeah,
and
like that.
also like the St. Paul's Cathedral, like dimension sort of warping, sort of. There's another dimension within St. Paul's Cathedral, like that sort of TARDISy.
All right. Yeah.
That's I sort of enjoy that sort of thing. But and the Master has a TARDIS in Doctor Falls, and
Oh
we
yeah.
see the dematerialization circuit, which was another nice little callback. So there must be one about,
Yeah.
and so yeah, now and then we saw it floating. When I first saw that in Spyfall Part One, I thought, "Are we in like a simulation? What's going on?" And
Hmm.
then it was like, and then I didn't even work it out until afterwards. It's
Oh
like,
really?
"Oh fucking hell, that's the TARDIS. That's the Master's TARDIS, isn't it?" And that was
Yeah.
like, but then when we cut to it, like because it's Graham, Ryan, and Yaz on the plane. We might need to talk about that a little bit. Um,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We've not talked
we'll
about the
get,
actual like resolution of the story. We'll get to
yeah,
that at
we'll
the end.
yeah, we'll get to that at the end. Um, and then, but then it cuts to the Master's TARDIS in flight in the vortex, and it still looks like the house, and it's like it is so nice to see other TARDISes
Yes. Yes.
because you get used to seeing the TARDIS, the normal, the police box just flying
Yeah.
through.
Yeah. It's like people
It's
just be
really
like police box TARDIS.
yeah, it's really interesting to see other things like
Yeah.
because in like not the fucking diner flying in the
No,
hotel,
that looked fucking
but like
awful.
the pillar TARDIS sort of flying through
Oh
because
yeah. Yeah.
you never see a vortex except in Capaldi's final story, which
Yeah.
really pisses me off. It like, but it was I love the new vortex.
Oh yeah. It's
Just
so good. Yeah.
is
It's so nice.
so good.
It's easily the best for me.
Same. Because especially like when it opened up in Arachnids in the UK and it was this big bubble of like
Yeah.
different tunnels to different time periods.
That's like the only good bit of Arachnids in the UK.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Um, except the ending. I quite like the ending of Arachnids when they all join and they all put their hands on the lever and they all take off. That was like a wholesome moment
Yeah,
for
I
me.
guess.
But yeah, the whole vortex, and even later on when the Doctor breaks out of the time vortex to go into the bubble universe, it's like this is like a fan's wet dream of special
Yep.
effects, and it was so nice.
I'm so glad they kept them on as well. Because, like,
Yeah.
obviously Chibnall was, like, all new. But it's like, I'm glad they kept on John Smith.
Hmm. Well, I think he probably would already been like contracted to do the next for Series 11, and maybe they were just like he was working on it, and then they went, "Could you quickly do Twice Upon a Time because we haven't got any special effects."
Hmm.
And that's why some of the visuals in Twice Upon a Time are actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
Well, some of the CG shots, and then a lot of the other CG shots are no.
Let's not
But
talk
yeah,
about Twice Upon a Time.
The Master's TARDIS, the interior, I liked that it was a mix.
Mm,
I don't know why, but I kind of enjoyed that it was still the hut in places, but it was also still the TARDIS.
I
And I
mean, that's
like,
fair.
but that's like a master. I feel like that's a mastery thing as well. So they just completely camouflage the entire
Yeah.
TARDIS. But yeah, it was cool. And you know what? I would love to see the whole interior properly, but as it
I feel like we probably will.
but
Like, if
as
the
it
Master
stands,
does come back.
yeah, as it stands right now, I was happy because that
Okay, yeah,
console,
yeah, I was just glad that we saw it.
yeah, I was just going, yeah, because it's like the whole idea of this we've been teased with the Masters TARDIS, and now we finally get it.
Yeah.
What else do you want to talk about?
I can't remember I had something, but... Oh, yeah, that, the whole like confrontation when the Master first turns up.
The Neil scene
Yeah.
when he just bursts in and starts using the TCE and it makes the noise
Yep.
and its people shrink and it looks exactly like it does in the classic series and it looks really dumb because it's clearly just
Yeah, it's just like little
little
plastic.
props.
Yeah. But I
But
love that though. It's so.
it just feels so mastery.
Yeah.
It felt like
I
that's a
want a
great way
toy.
to yeah, it's a great way to establish that this is the master.
Yeah. And I love how he just doesn't care. Like he just throws them away afterwards.
Yeah, what is it? See the incredible shrinking device. Want
Yeah.
to be smaller ladies? You can.
Oh yeah. What I like is like he's going to be looking for the Doctor for a long time because his beard's a lot longer in part
Oh
two.
yeah, he's just
I just like the idea of like he's been like traveling through time, just popping up everywhere. It's like, oh, finally got you.
oh. Can I quickly just diverge and talk about the Master's dialogue because
Yeah.
because there is the great going back to when they were in the Master's TARDIS, him and Barton, and it's like I don't appreciate last minute changes of plan, and he looks at the Silver Lady and goes, a little chaos is a beautiful thing or a wonderful thing. Allow me to swat those flies.
Hmm.
Just fucking drips with
Yeah.
evil. And it was just it was just so satisfying to get a master who just feels so much like the master, but like done well.
Yeah.
And that's because Missy is done well at the end, but that's only because they do something new with the character.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's so nice to feel like a proper incarnation of the Master back,
Agreed.
because they only really get it right with John Sim in Doctor Falls, and especially World Enough and Time though when he does
All
the
right.
skies.
Yeah.
But it's only that one story, and then again you've got End of Time that really ruins that character as the
Yeah.
incarnation of the Master.
I can like accept like Sound of Drums, Last of the Time
Yeah.
Lords, stuff like that. It's like okay, he's a bit goofy. It's just not my thing.
I always read that now as like the Master worked out that it's like the Master knows the Time Lords are gone, so he knows he can just do anything now.
Yeah.
So he can. That's why he enslaves Earth and everything. That's why people say, "Oh, I have a problem. Why has he never done that? Why has he never tried to do any of this before?" It's like, well, the Time Lords would have stopped him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even hate that three-parter. To be fair, like it's never really bothered me.
It's the ending that really gets that one.
Oh yeah. Like the Jesus stuff.
Just that one, because a lot of it is really good, except for Doctor Jesus.
Yeah, praying, save the day.
Because the whole idea of time reversing, yeah, that makes sense for destroying the paradox machine. Like it's a cop out, but it was set up. But then the Doctor Jesus, when it could have just been resolved it could have like the idea of using the Archangel network against him, pretty good.
Yeah.
But giving the Doctor superpowers,
Yeah.
yeah.
Suit just grows with them.
But yeah, Sacha Dhawan as the Master throughout is superb, and his outfit. If we're talking about little things, the actual one he gets, you don't see it
Yeah, I was
very
about to
well,
say, yeah, we see it like so briefly at the end.
and it's so dimly lit
Yeah.
that it's hard to see what it is. But it's a lovely purple, slightly Troughtonish sort of suit
Hmm.
in a way, like that. I see, as in like the checkered trousers
I
and
see what
stuff
you
like
mean.
that.
Yeah. Like that sort of
But
Hartnell,
but it,
Broughton esque
but with
look.
the purple of like Missy's outfit is nice.
Yeah, he's got like the purple coat. It's kind of like a deep purple blue suit with like orange checks.
Yeah, and it just feels a bit like, because sometimes you can either you can go two ways with the Master. You can either go black and sort of like velvety or greys,
Hmm.
and they begin to add like the idea of like red and blues and stuff
I mean, what I
towards the
like
end.
about the Master's current outfit is that it looks very much like I could imagine the Doctor wearing it.
Well, Sacha Dhawan could easily play the
Oh
Doc.
yeah, he was. I
That's
say in
what
my
was,
like first part, it's like he was one of my picks.
yeah, and he would have been great as the Doctor.
Yeah,
But he's great as the Master. I think that's where a lot of the actors, especially in the new series, it's great that they've got actors who play the Master who could easily play the Doctor.
yeah,
Because I think Jarek Jacobi could play the Doctor.
oh yeah.
It's mainly the new series people. I don't really see like Roger Delgado and Anthony Ainley and especially
Yeah,
Eric
yeah.
Roberts like the Doctor.
No.
But they work as like the evil master.
Yeah.
Whereas it's nice in the new series that they're casting actors who could play the Doctor as well. So so it adds to that sort of dark reflection of the Doctor, which is what the Master probably should be.
Yeah. I completely agree there.
So yeah, it also works in the outfit as well. Like that's something the Doctor would wear. Like
Yeah.
even Missy's sort of outfit is like I could see the Doctor if it was played by Michelle Gomez, be wearing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for John Sims in Doctor Falls, that's just pure Master.
Oh yeah. That's it's harking back.
Yeah, and yeah, I love that. But anyway,
Yeah, let's talk about that Neil scene.
oh the
It's
Neil
like
scene.
it's like the Doctor, no, the Masters, like just clearly trying to get in the Doctor's head and make a fool of her.
Yeah, it's because she goes, "What do you want?" And you can almost see on his face that he was like, "Oh shit, I didn't think this one through."
Yeah.
I was just sort of turning up and hoping I could get you,
Yeah.
and now you've posed me a question, so I'm just gonna default to what I usually want and just people to obey me. So
Yeah.
Neil, like in front of all your little human friends,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna humiliate you in front of everyone, and
Yep.
you're gonna have to call me master. And the bit where he goes, "Can't hear you, love,"
Yeah.
like
It's such a
you,
such a cunt.
such a dickhead.
Yeah.
You can tell it on her face when he first says, "Call me by my name."
Well, I mean,
She looks over and is like, "Really?"
they made a Doctor Who poop like about that. It's like where Jodie's like, for fuck's sake, at the end.
Call me by my name.
Master.
Beg your pardon.
Master.
Can't hear you, love.
Master.
Beg your pardon.
Master.
Can't hear you, love.
For fuck's sake.
Just such a good performance.
I think it's like what you were saying about how the Master sort of contrasts with the Doctor, like within the new series. I like that because the Doctor, like the 13th Doctor, is so like pacifistic. I don't know what's that word?
Pacifist.
Yeah, pacifist. I don't know. I was trying to make like a plural of that.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's pacifistic. So
Okay.
let's just say she doesn't like violence.
Yeah, but then it's like you have like this Master that's like so over the top, but he's not like in a bad way, but he's like so angry, so
He's just a
evil.
merciless killer.
Yeah,
This master.
yeah, and it's just like a perfect reflection in a way because they
It's
completely contrast.
it's the same in the way of like John Sim has the energy of David Tennant, like turned up to 100.
Kind of. It's
But
kind of like
even
it feels
but
like
even,
John Sim and Tennant are similar in a way, though.
they're
It's
two
like they
sides
were,
of the same coin.
yeah. Well, Dewan and Whittaker seem like two complete opposite sides of the coin.
They work so well together. It's
Oh yeah,
and I feel like Capaldi and Gomez, it works, but not in like a conventional sort of way.
yeah. I mean that they're telling a different story there.
It's more in the idea of like at the beginning, Missy is like this wacky, but like in like the sense that the 12th Doctor is no nonsense in Series 8.
Hmm.
So, and she's just complete nonsense.
Yeah, she's just completely loony.
That's why it doesn't really work in Series 9 when she comes back and she's acting exactly the same, but the Doctor is also acting off.
Yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot that she was in all three of Capaldi's seasons.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't turn up for the rest of Series 9, which is a waste.
Yeah, I forget she's in the opener because it's it's literally like dark water, death in heaven.
And
And
then
it's
she's
like,
back.
oh yeah, she's back again.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, but yeah, like, so like, David Tennant and John Sim. Well, I feel like every master for every Doctor plays against them well, though.
Yeah, yeah,
Like for the right. So like with John Sim and David Tennant, like because it was the whole Last of the Time Lord sort of thing, so they had to be close.
hmm
And with Capaldi and Gomez, it was the idea of like, could the Master be redeemed, and can the Doctor have this Doctor who started out with like this really pessimistic view of everything, finding hope within his arch nemesis.
yeah.
And then with this, it's like the doctor who is very passive, who is a pacifist who like is happy and jolly all the time. He's a master who is just fucking evil.
Yeah, and it's what our doctor needed.
Yeah,
Probably.
it's just yeah. I remember you and me talking about Series 11 and going like, this doctor needs a challenge, because I
Yeah,
feel like even like the Dalek was supposed to be a challenge for her, and she defeats it
with a
drop of
fucking
a hat.
microwave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're literally with a microwave. Fucking hell. And the power of love, because Ryan loved his dad,
No.
even though his dad still didn't turn up to Grace's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
But
we'll let that one go.
anyway, speaking of resolution, what did you think at the end of the story?
You explain it, because I'm a little bit iffy on it.
Okay, so the Master, he's at the point where they're on top of the Eiffel Tower, he's tricked the Nazis, he's using a perception filter, right? So obviously, he blends in.
That's and that is sort of an explanation for why the Doctor didn't recognize another Time
Yeah.
Lord.
I quite like that. I quite like the reasoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, the episode ends with the Doctor tricking the Master, turning off his perception filter, and handing him over to the Nazis. Which I interpret it as she's essentially handing over a Nazi to the Nazis, as opposed to like, oh,
Well,
she's.
that's not the problem I have with it.
It's like I feel like.
Because I know, because she must know that the Master has encountered the Daleks.
Knowing who the Master is.
He could get out.
Yeah, it's like. It feels like it's not too far and away.
It's just so she can like apprehend him for a bit.
Yeah.
It's what I find a bit iffy is that she turns it off. She's already reported him.
Yeah.
She's already like got Nor to send a message that could be easily detectable that he's been sending secret codes to the Allies.
Yeah.
So that's why the Nazis are coming. Then she turns off his perception filter, so already the Nazis want him. So like the perception filter will probably not work, but she turns it off, and it's felt in a way that she turned it off because they'd already mentioned the white Aryan, like he's not a white Aryan, obviously, this incarnation. But she runs off, sort of like saying how she's turned it off so they'll see him for what he really is. And I guess it's meant to be said in a way like, also should see he's not actually as Nazi, but it's also.
But it's like I didn't see it in the way of like it's like, oh, she's made him brown again.
Well, they can see he's brown, but they just don't care. But I feel it's like in the way it's like she's turning it off, so now not only do they think he's a Nazi spy, they see that he's actually not one of them.
Yeah.
And that's why I find a bit iffy leaving sort of like, is it meant to be like that? It can't be. But I don't really want to get into it because I feel like I'll just make it worse. But it's like,
the thing is, I feel like it partly is in a way how you're interpreting it. It's like I feel like but I don't know, the way I see it, it's like, but it's the Master.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think it's just because of how, Daleks and stuff, they're all a sci-fi concept. Like, yes, they parody Nazis. It's the fact that this is
the disconnect that they are more of a not a very subtle metaphor, but they are a metaphor for the Nazis.
Yeah.
While as just handing this person over to the literal Nazis, I sympathise and get where people are really angry with it. I'm not. I find it a bit just really iffy, as in like execution sort of way.
I understand that. I understand it. Yeah, like I understand.
But like moving on to the actual resolution, like so the Doctor, the Doctor, Nor and Ada take the Master's TARDIS back in time, and they reset the Silver Lady thing. That's the thing that's bringing the Kasavin into this world.
Yeah.
They go back in time and sabotage it so it will overload, so the Kasavin won't be able to do their master plan of rewriting DNA using Vor tech.
Yeah.
What's so special about Vor then? I'm so glad you used that clip.
I mean, I couldn't
Uh,
not.
it was so many fetishes. Oh, why does every showrunner have a fetish? Like the 13th Doctor's is getting choked.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's quite a lot, you know. She's on her knees, Master. She's
You'll
getting
call me by my
choked.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, you know, there's
Mm,
more in episode 1. You know,
I hate the
tentacle
I
come
I
next
hate
week.
the internet so much. But yeah, they sabotage this thing so overload and like the Kasavin's plan won't work. We never see this. We
No,
are all told this through expositional dialogue.
it's just the I bribed the architect thing.
Yeah, that's immediately what I thought after the episode. It's like, so you're just saying you went and did this and you won.
I didn't. It did feel quite rushed. I'll be honest. I didn't hate how it was executed, but because it was leading up so well, and it was like, oh shit, is this going to be like a 3-parter or something? Because the way it was
Yeah.
leading up, and it was like, oh okay, this could. I don't see how they get out of this, but then it's just like stopped.
We should have found out the plan earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't have been this final confrontation in this warehouse. It should have been at the keynote speech that Barton was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that should have been relevant somehow.
Such an odd speech.
I know. It has a lot of dialogue that I thought, like certain lines that I thought really nice. It's like
Oh yeah,
like the idea that was like, oh yeah, what if there was a way to reformat DNA for
Yeah.
data? And he went, luckily there's an app for that.
Oh yeah.
And
There was
the
nice
whole idea,
moments.
and then and when the whole like process starts, and he goes, it's like, most of you, like select few won't be like completely destroyed, but like as for the rest of you, welcome to the end of your lives,
Mm-hmm.
which is a line that I heard in the trailer. I thought, fucking hell, that's good. I'm now planning on putting "Welcome to the end of your lives" in everything I write now.
I guess as like an actual problem overall that I had with just the writing was how exposition heavy it was at times. And I mean,
Yeah.
not just that scene, but I mean like the 13th Doctor would just like essentially have a conversation with herself where she'd just explain what's happening.
This era has a big old problem
Yeah.
with exposition. It's not just Chibnall, it's a lot of writers. Just oof.
Yeah,
Oof.
because they just seem to like stop the plot, and it's like, okay, this is what's happening. Okay, you all on board? Okay, right, let's continue.
It's rough, yeah.
Yeah. But that was really my only overall major problem, is just like the big exposition dumps we get, because they feel so disjointed.
Hmm. And also Sonic Screwdriver saves the day. So it's not been used as much this series, and they bring back the whole deadlock seal for the bombs, so
Oh, yeah.
13 can't stop that, which was nice.
Good point. That's just another
Uh,
like thing again, like another reference to the past.
But it's not brought up or anything. It's just like
No, yeah, I know.
the same thing with like the storm cage thing from Rosa, where it's like it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's if you get it, you get it.
Mhm.
And it's just like for a casual audience, like deadlock seal. It's like I guess the Doctor just can't stop that now. But he actually, yeah, and the Doctor was recording the Master's conversation with her, which but I really think it should have been a spy gadget.
Yeah.
It should have been one of the spy gadgets that she used,
Yeah, I
because she
would
even
have
says
preferred that.
that's the thing with modern media, you can't trust it anymore.
Yeah, I would have preferred that,
Instead of
because
just
it would have tied it all back
here's
as
the
well,
Sonic.
as opposed to
Mhm.
just Sonic Screwdriver. Sonic.
They even
X.
have like the the voice recorder thing disguised as DNA thing. It's like
Yeah.
they could have
That's-
used that, and it'd be like, Yaz gave this to me. And I was like, or something was like, Yaz gave this to me. Turns out it actually works. And it would have been funny and would have been a nice callback and brought the whole thing full circle. But yeah, and then the Master gets sucked into the Kasavin dimension,
Yep.
and
He'll be
Barton
back.
gets away.
Yeah, he just walks off.
And people are now thinking, oh, so he'll be back. It's like Robertson again, just walks off.
Yeah. Well, I expect him to come back. Because
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. You can't just have all these people walk off, especially someone as important as Barton at this point, or even Robertson. I mean,
But that's why I'm
if he
sort
got
of
into
like
office,
I like the idea now of like Robertson and Barton sort of,
I don't see
you
them
know.
meeting up. I don't see them being like together, but I can see them returning.
Yeah, I was really enjoying the episode. I was finding it like the whole thing. I mean, I was really enjoying it, and then it just sort of felt like, burp, we gotta finish it now.
Yeah,
And then
it was a little disappointing.
and then we ram in the season arc, which is good. It's nice,
You will see that sort of made up for the rushed ending, in a way.
but it really
To
will
me.
depend on what this
Yeah.
arc is, and will this story stack up over time.
Mm.
But at the moment, I'm much more of a fan of Spyfall Part 1 than I am of Part 2. Whatever way it goes, really. I really enjoyed Part 1.
I'm the
But-
opposite. I enjoy both parts.
But yeah, I did enjoy Part 2 as well. So, but not just not as much. I guess I just had more things that irked me in Part 2.
I mean,
'Cause
to
I
be
was
fair, right, it's like
expecting-
part 1 is probably a stronger story overall. I just got more from part 2, I feel.
Fair enough.
I think objectively,
So,
that's how I feel on it. It's just like, I enjoyed a lot more in part 2. I loved all the master stuff. You know, I thought the Doctor was enjoyable. All the, like, goofy stuff going on with the companions, you know, laser shoes.
It
The
was
little,
fun.
like, quest that was very similar to, like, Sound of Drums.
It was fun enough.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And
that's how I would sum up Spyfall on a whole. It's just a load of fun.
it's a load of fun to reintroduce you to Doctor Who before we have to get into the meet and greet of it all.
Yep, it has a lot of problems, but it's enjoyable.
What are you going to give it?
I am going to give it an 8.5.
See, I am going to give it a 7.
Okay. It's one of my favourites, I'd say, of the Jodie Whittaker era.
See, I'd say that for Spyfall Part 1. But I get where you're coming from.
I mean, if I was to round them both together, I'd probably say an 8.
Yeah, if I round them put together, I'd probably go like 7.58, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, good stuff.
It was a promising opening, and I hope the rest of the series, even though Orphan 55 was... I'm hoping we get back to like having fun, because we're coming up on episode 4, and episode 4 looks fun.
Yep. Yes, it does. Interesting title as well.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure of it at first, and then, you know what? I'm going for it. I love it.
Anyway, yeah, wrapping this up. Thanks for watching. Matt will see you probably tomorrow with his review
Yeah.
of Orphan 55.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. Oh, he's gonna come back and make a video for 2020.